Jimi Hendrix was born and raised in Seattle, Washington. His parents were Lucille Jeter and Al Hendrix. Al Hendrix was originally a Canadian jazz dancer before moving to America to join the Army. He would later be fighting in World War II. Jimi Hendrix's parents were only 17 when Jimi Hendrix was born, and they had an unhappy relationship throughout Jimi Hendrix's childhood, which resulted in them getting a divorce in 1951 when Jimi Hendrix was only 9. Jimi Hendrix was originally given the name Johnny Marshall Hendrix, but one day when his father was coming home from a work trip, he legally changed Jimi's name to James Marshall Hendrix. Growing up, Jimi Hendrix was known to be a shy kid by nature, and this was also represented by Michael in the novel Brother. From a young age, Jimi had always had an infatuation with music. He would spend his time meeting artists of different cultures and ethnicities to learn more about their music. When Jimi Hendrix was only 15, he bought his first acoustic guitar for only $5 from a friend of his father's. Jimi Hendrix partook in formal guitar lessons, learning proper ways to play and strum a guitar before he went off and did his own thing. Jimi Hendrix's father was the first person that gave Jimi Hendrix his first electric guitar. When Jimi Hendrix was 17, he was charged for driving stolen cars, and he was faced with an ultimatum. He'd either have to go to jail for 2 years or join the Army. Jimi Hendrix decided to drop out of school and join the Army. As a result of him dropping out, he decided to not finish his high school education after. When at war, Jimi Hendrix met a bass player by the name of Billy Cox, and the two of them enjoyed playing together. They played in a band, and they regularly played gigs around Nashville. By this time, Jimi Hendrix was growing in popularity. Jimi Hendrix had been faced with many obstacles throughout his life, the most commonly recognized ones being drug abuse. Like many musicians, Jimi Hendrix has struggled with a lot of mental health and drug and alcohol abuse. On stage, Jimi Hendrix was known to be an amazing artist and with a bright personality, but off stage he was faced with a lot of dilemmas. Jimi Hendrix used marijuana, LSD, and heroin. Although Jimi Hendrix did get things from his dad, like his first guitar, but for most of his childhood, he was absent due to him being a part of the military. And this left an emotional strain on Jimi Hendrix growing up. Due to his father not being around, Jimi Hendrix built a relationship with his mother. Unfortunately, when Jimi Hendrix was only 15, his mother was found unconscious in an alleyway. She was taken to the hospital, but due to the severity of her injuries, she sadly passed away. It was discovered that her leading cause of death was alcohol abuse. Jimi Hendrix often referred to the African American community as my people. Jimi Hendrix often referred to the African American community as my people. Jimi Hendrix held a free concert for the community, and people did not respond well to this. Once Jimi Hendrix stepped on stage, people started throwing things and yelling inappropriate slurs at him, telling him he was no good and that he should give up on his musical career. Despite everything, Jimi Hendrix stood his ground and did not let people get to him, and eventually the crowd faded off. Jimi Hendrix traveled to Harlem in an attempt to make contact with the black people of his community. They did not respond well to this, and they said that Jimi Hendrix played the music for a white man and dressed like a white man. Jimi Hendrix was not accepted by the white community or the black community, and this was without a doubt hard on him. Some of Jimi Hendrix's most popular songs are Long Tall Sally, Purple Haze, and Hey Joe. Jimi Hendrix is responsible for earning 3 top 10 hits in the UK. His performance at the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967 is what kicked off his fame. In 1968, his last album, Electric Lady Land, reached number 1 in the US. Jimi Hendrix has many legacies. He helped make music what it is today with his groundbreaking approaches to rock and roll and jazz. Jimi Hendrix influenced and supported the Beatles throughout their career, and when the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band song came out, Jimi Hendrix couldn't resist but do a cover. The Beatles also returned the favor by doing a cover of Jimi Hendrix's song Lol Tall Sally. Jimi Hendrix is also mentioned in the novel Brother. Jimi Hendrix is one of Jelly's artists of choice for when he mixes music. Jimi Hendrix has created his own unique style of music that has influenced generations of guitar players. He is also known to be one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Jimi Hendrix did a lot of things to help break segregation during this era. He played in a band with 2 white members, and he was known to date white women. He dressed, talked, and acted in a way that was not socially acceptable for black men at that time. But despite what people would say about it, Jimi Hendrix did not let it get to him. Sadly, on September 17, 1970, Jimi Hendrix officially became the second member of the 27 Club when he died due to an overdose in London. To this day, it still remains a mystery whether his death was intentional or if it was just an accident.